Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning. It's all foggy and drizzly, and it's not cold. It's only like 60 degrees out here. We can actually come out in short sleeve shirts, and it's just got enough chill in the air with it being damp and wet. It feels like a little drizzle falling on you, little drops of rain hitting you from the heavy fog up above us. But I'm here today with my favorite little tools. A lot of y'all are want to know what that is. That is something that I built. Got this from Mr. Hollis, Hollis and Nancy YouTube channel. They're friends of ours. I guess this is a real cheap butter knife. It's an old one, I know that. I mean,
one we did not use.
Yeah, it's one. This one here is, I'm talking about really old knife. It's I think it's made out of aluminum or something. I don't know. It's stainless, but
is the other one the same?
Yeah, they're both identical. They were in a match set, and I was like, some of these butter knives, when you bend them, they just snap off and break, But these, I took my time, put them in a vise, and just gradually bent them over. Makes the best onion ringers in the world. Now, a lot of people don't believe in ringing onions, but back 15 years ago when I lived in central Mississippi, my brother-in-law at that time, Mr. Norval Manning, he was growing onions, and I said, well, I'm going to grow me some too. And so I went to the store and got some. I planted mine right across the road from his. I went over there one day. His onions were like this big around. Big old pretty onions. Mine were about like that. And I did exactly what he did, I thought. And he come over and looked at them. He told me, he said, well, you ain't going to have no bulbs. I said, why not? And Norval told me, he said, you got to ring them onions, boy. In this old heavy clay soil, if you don't ring them, they ain't going to do nothing. I never heard of that. Of course, he just took his finger and did around it in a stick. But then I watched Hollis and Nancy. And Mr. Hollis was talking about ringing onions. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try that. And when I started ringing my onions, I started growing bulbs after that. Now, some of them might not be that big, but then I've had some nice big ones too, But we're way behind this year because we got our sets way late. But some of them are starting to crack the ground. Now, normally in February, we normally do this in February, but being we got such a late start, these are just now beginning to bulb some. So what I want to show you is what to look for here. Now, I went ahead and did like two of them right here. I went ahead and done these. Now, you don't want to go too deep because you'll get into the roots, but you want to just get that bulb, where it's just, but ain't nothing but the roots in the ground like that right there. Now, the reason people have been asking me, how do you know when to do it? You see that ground cracking around it right there? That means that onion bulb is starting to expand below the soil. Here's another one right here. That one is beginning to expand below the soil right there. You see these cracks starting to form around it. And all I do is I just take my little onion knife and I come here and I just kind of like, don't scratch your onion up, but just kind of drag some of that dirt away from it like that right there. You don't want to get so much dirt away that the onion just falls over. You want to have, let your roots stay in the ground. This ground here is kind of heavy too. It ain't like the dirt at Deep South. The Deep South, it didn't matter if you ringed them very much or not. That old sandy soil over there, but this soil here is not sandy like that is. This one here's got a little bit of...
You can see the bulbs starting.
You can see them starting. I'm excited now. I was kind of thinking maybe we wasn't going to get no onions this year, but we might just...
This one right here.
Look at this one.
That one's already got a nice little onion.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to... I don't want to get down into the roots of it, but I want to get it where the bulb's above the ground anyway. This is one of them jobs, you just got to get nasty to do it. I just have to get down on my knees, because I can't bend over no more. Look at that. Look at that. That bulb can reach above the ground now. And it can grow. Let's check this one here out. It's got a little bit of a crack in it. Now, onion roots are really close to the surface, guys. So don't get, like Miss Wanda said there, don't get too low, because that onion will force its way on up.
Do enough on those.
Get a little bit of dirt.
But see, some of those are really, you're getting into the...
They're starting to pop. It's a little time consuming, but you know what? We just we just like 3 days ago came in here and pushed a steel rod down in the ground, and we put the calcium nitrate to these, and just as soon as we did, it ain't been but just a few days, and these things are already popping. I've been giving them something every couple of weeks.
But it wasn't doing any good.
It wasn't doing any good, but I think what it is it's finally, right now, it's finally warmed up enough. It's in the 60s, you know. Now the mornings have been, lots of mornings been being in the 40s, but the days are warming up to like 75 to 77 degrees. Yesterday was 85. And when you get that kind of heat, that stuff just jumps, you know. Now it leaves me a little concerning for the English peas because they're a little bit behind, but we're gonna have to come in here, just like we thought before, we're gonna have to get some stakes, and we're gonna have to pull this down like right here and stake it to the ground, because up there, these things are just not reaching it like they're supposed to.
It's too high.
They're too high. So we'll get it done, you know. One of them things, it just takes a little time. I got my plate full with trying to keep this farm going. After I get through with this today, we're gonna have to hoe the sides of the bed off. It's got a little bit of green stuff starting to pop up on the sides of it down there. They're gonna take that hoe and kind of scrape that off. But after this, I gotta get on a Ranger and start fertilizing the whole property. We got fruit trees that's gotta be fertilized. We got fields that's gotta be fertilized. Now I'm waiting on the pecans to see the little leaves starting to pop out on them. I've got to fertilize with the zinc in it to fertilize the pecan orchards with. This is the year to make it happen, you know. And we got to fertilize all the blueberry orchards, and all of our fruit orchards has all got to be fertilized. Grapevines has got to have all the rabbit manure put around them. We still got some grapevines that need to have the arbors built for them. I mean, just a ton of work to do right now with all this rain fixing to come in here. I'm praying we get just the right amount of rain. We don't get a flooding down, soaking rain, because we got the corn planted, we got sweet corn, we got squash, we got the Jimmy Red planted up there. I'm wanting to get a row of okra right here, and I looked at the forecast. I honestly think I can go ahead and put the seeds in some seed trays and get them going. I've had better luck doing that with okra, because when it comes up in the seed trays, I can just pop the little plugs out and come stick them in the ground, and I know I can space them exactly like I want them. And at Deep South, we had really good luck doing that. So haven't tried it over here, but hopefully at this property we're gonna be able to do the same thing there. Well, I finished ringing the onions, guys, and Miss Wanda's down there. She's about got the onions hoed on the sides. I'm gonna take the hoe after her and finish on out that row, because there's potatoes down yonder. But we've got everything pretty much ringed out now. When you go down through here, you can see every one of them has been ringed. Got the dirt away from them so they can begin to expand. There's not a lot of them, but hey, some is better than none. That's our theory. 10% of something's better than 100% of nothing. So don't that dirt and soil just look good right there? All that's planted. We still got this side over here to go. This side's all gonna be sweet potatoes, but Miss Wanda's trying to finish up there. And just as soon as she does, I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna go to the other end and I'm gonna hoe out the rest of the taters. We're not used to this. We're not used to this heavy soil. It sticks to the. We're used to sandy soil over at Deep South. This old heavy soil, it sticks to you.
It clings to the blade.
Yeah, it clings to it really bad.
Now a little bit of grass with the rain will catch us.
It'll get ahead of you. That's that crabgrass. That stuff is, you don't take it but just a little bit to get going. And boy, if you ever let it get a foothold, you are just in trouble. Next week it'll be 4 inches high.
And you can't pull it up.
Nope. Hard as that ground, the roots will be in that ground. It'll be stuck there and you won't get it up. Now if we can just get it to the middles, I don't worry too much because I can take the cub. It's got a pretty high clearance underneath it. And if anything starts coming up in the middles, you know, we can run down through there and get that.
Because you got to do the potatoes anyway.
Yeah, I got to plow the potatoes.
Look at these potatoes. They're starting to pop. This is the first row we did. And then this is the second row. We've got to give it a few days.
Yeah, up to a certain point right up there. I did potatoes here, and then I did make it down to a certain point, and I ran out. Or I ran into what I thought was still good potatoes. I still had some left that I used somewhere else. I said, well, that's already going to come back up, which they didn't. We ended up having to replant it. But all right, guys. We got the rows finished there. Miss Wanda went and got her bat wing here, and we are just not used to dirt sticking to hose like this. But I guess when you got a heavier soil, it happens, you know. But we got the rows done. We got the potatoes, English peas, and the onion.
And the fog is coming down. It looks like it's almost breaking daylight, and it's what, 8 o'clock?
Oh, it's 9 o'clock. It can be 9.
It's 9?
Yeah.
Y'all, it's 9 o'clock. Look at this.
Look at this. I mean, it is literally, looks like it's 6 o'clock in the morning, you know? I mean.
And it's just misting. It's like a mist in the air from this fog.
Like a heavy mist, yeah. The fog is dropping on us here, ahead of all this weather supposed to come in tomorrow. So, which I'm not complaining, because this is actually what I love about the Deep South. This is how everybody keeps wanting to know, how do y'all water all your gardens? We don't. God does it. Through this heavy, dense fog coming down here this morning. It feels like it's drizzling rain on us, but it's not. It's just a heavy fog. I mean, this is the weather I look for when I'm deer hunting or squirrel hunting or something like that, is because it's just enjoyable. There's no hot sun. It's just cool. Moisture's falling down out of the air. The ground is being watered from the top up here. It's just nice. I love this kind of weather. I mean, I think in the beginning, when before Noah was here, I think this is how it was. I might be 100% wrong, but it's my belief, and I can have it if I want to, you know.
Well, you know, during the summer it's so hot.
Yeah.
We don't get this during the summer.
No.
And so that's why we try to plant early enough.
Yes.
That once it gets so hot that we just don't water in the middle of the summer. And a lot of people say, why don't you water? It's too much.
Too hot.
It dries our land out so bad.
Yeah. You actually do the plant a disservice. When you water, unless you leave the water sitting there running all day, what happens is you water only the top surface, because the sun is so intense, it's pulling the water out of the ground. All the roots run to the surface where the water's at, and then when the water's gone, the roots are parched, you know. I like for my plants to do what I call go grocery shopping. I like for them to go deep into the ground looking for moisture. And I know there's a lot of people out there that don't believe in no-till, but let me tell you something. I grew up my whole life. Our forefathers have done it slam back to the beginning of time. The Lord even tells us in the Bible, you got to till the land. When you break that soil, it allows moisture to come up from the earth, to come up and water these plants like this. It doesn't hurt the microbes in the soil. To me, that's been the biggest myth. You just go through there and now, yeah, if I come out here with a disc, I will say this. If I come out here with a disc and I just start disking this, and every day I disc it and I disc it and I disc it in the heat, it's going to become a fine talc powder. The wind's just going to blow it away. Yeah, I understand the Dust Bowl. I understand just how it happened. We don't do that. We only plow, or shall I use the word cultivate? People get their feelings hurt if you don't use the right word. In the South, we say plow. But terminology-wise, it would be cultivate. we come in here and cultivate these rows like these onions here. Me and Ms. Wanda was just talking about it, and she said, you can't do something with that cub to fix this? And I told her, I said, yes, I can. I can take off all the plows except the ones that run behind the back tires, and I can run down through these middles because we hoed all the grass to the middles. Once the grass dies in the middle, I can take that 2 shovels on the back and run down through these onions here, and I can plow the middle of these rows out. Or I can put 2 big sweeps on the back of it that's really wide, and I can run through here and cut all that grass off beneath the surface, and it'll die, and we won't be hurt a thing. It'll be fine, you know. It's called a sweep for a reason. Now you got narrow sweeps. We've got some of them that go 10 inches. I got some of them that go 16 inches. I mean, if you can get them things down behind the wheels and they run down through there, and that just runs about 1 inch or 2 under the surface and cuts the roots of everything underneath the surface. And then when the sun comes out, there's no substance for them to get any moisture from. They shrivel up and just die. And your garden stays just as clean looking as it can be.
You don't need those things with the point that goes down in the ground and digs.
No, the only reason you really use shovels behind your tractors is like when you're cultivating, like the corn or something, for instance. I put the shovels behind it then because when those shovels are behind it, they create a little tiny deep furrow in the ground, and when you come back to plow or cultivate the next row, your front tire will automatically just go to that deep furrow, and you can hold a perfectly straight line down through the garden. Your tractor will normally just stay there, and you don't have what's called wandering front end on the tractor. If you don't have that deep furrow, your front end of your tractor has a tendency to want to wander on you. So
hence a crooked English pea row.
Yeah, well, you can get more peas on a crooked row than you can a straight one, you know. So I think we got a few more English peas on that row than we did before. But now, in all honesty, these 2 rows right here were plowed with the Kubota.
Yeah.
And the plows were behind us, not in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that Kubota is not made for gardening. It's made for like bush hogging and, you know, baling hay and stuff like that.
The Cub was a garden plow.
Cub was made
a garden
for
tractor.
The Kubota is only like this high from the ground. It's about a low clearance under the back end of it, and maybe 12 inches, 13 inches. And the Cub, oh heck, I can plow up to 2 feet high on it and not have to worry about nothing. And I could even go higher if I raised it up. I don't want to raise it up because it's bad about flipping over if you do that. So man, the view is like it's raining on us now.
It does.
It is. It just lasts a minute or 2.
But you can tell it's clearing up because when I first started filming, it looked like it was nighttime on you.
Yeah.
Now you're clearing up. You're looking better. I was fixing to say, "Oh man, this is the wrong time to film."
No,
but
the sun's fixing to start breaking through here, and you can look up in the sky. You can tell it's falling pretty fast.
And it's what'd you say, 9 o'clock?
Look at that, 1 minute.
Till 9.
1 minute till 9, and it's still out here. It feels like 6 o'clock in the morning. I love this time of the year, guys. Thank you from Pecan Grove.